It's time for another Tackle HD Fishing Report. It's Thanksgiving Week 2022, and FISH30's Dave McCormick has your latest look at Truman Lake.
Well, welcome back, gang, to another Truman Lake fishing report. We're talking big-time fall fishing now. We finally had it, yep. The water's turned over. It's got below 55 degrees. We've had cold weather. And unfortunately, Truman, as for bass fishing in the dead of winter, doesn't have a lot of tournaments that come to it. So we don't do a lot of fishing past this point. This is about, deer season's about the end of the time that we tournament bass fish at Truman. So let's talk about it, because it's really, the end of the season can be the best time to find them right on the rock. So let's talk about that. Let's say you're going out this weekend and it's going to be a fairly warm, sunny day, say in the 50-degree range, 40-degree range. Maybe you don't get out first thing. You get out at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. I want you to idle back into one of your favorite creeks at Truman. I'll show you a couple of them on the map. Idle back to a predominant secondary that faces, that's on the north side of the creek, so that the sun beats down on those rocks. So that's what you're going to notice this time of year. Towards the very end of a lot of guys' seasons, the fish really do pull up shallow. So let's take you to a map setting here, and I'm going to point to a couple secondaries. So idle in, and this secondary right here appeals to me. This one obviously does, especially on this side. Even all the way back here. See this one right here where the bank is tight, the lines are real dark, it's deep along there. So and that's just a gathering point for these fish to have deep water nearby for the winter and be able to pull up onto those rocks to sun themselves and get the warmth from the rocks on those nice days. It does happen. It's what's going on in the winter. Those bass got to get warm. They get up on the rocks. They pull up on the biggest black rocks they can find. So let's imagine the water is going to be around 48 or 49 degrees, or maybe just even a few degrees cooler than that, because that's about where it is right now. Remember that I want you to not cast directly into the bank, to pull off and definitely parallel the bank this time of year. And definitely one of those patterns that I want you to try when you pull up there. I'm going to show you a bunch of crankbaits, and I'm not sure that it makes so much difference on the actual crankbait as it does the style or the color or what we're mimicking. So once that water's under 50 degrees or around 55 and has a little color that Truman has, red should be in your arsenal. It's a powerful color. I'm gonna take those red crankbaits, square bill, round bill, whatever it is, and I'm gonna run them on fairly light lines, say 10 or 12 pound line, and I'm gonna make parallel casts where there's transitions on those secondaries, meaning where it goes from big rock to small rock. Something makes those fish want to hang on those spots. So, and I'm also even going to throw some crankbaits of some different colors, but I'm still staying with that craw pattern. It's very effective this time of year. So the other thing I'm going to do is before I leave, I'm going to always throw, say, about a half-ounce spinnerbait with round blades on it. The biggest ones I can find in the package. I prefer a 5 or 6 myself, and I'll even put like a 3.8 swimmer on it so that it gives it some bulk. But so if you're going to throw a spinnerbait this time of year, I'd throw the round blades when we're in and around the 50-degree range. The crankbait's up against the rocks, and of course a jig. You know me, I just can't hardly not throw it. So, but make sure you make your casts right up to fairly shallow. You'd be surprised. A lot of people think that as the winter goes on, these fish automatically go out deep, and at first they just don't. Before Before that, they spent a lot of time shallow. And some magic can really happen on that spinnerbait and the crankbait in and around between, say, 55 to 45 degrees. You hit it on the right day, nice warm day, whew, that crankbait will just load the boat. It's a good time to get out. It's going to be your last time at Truman Lake. And hey, I want to thank everybody for watching these. Check me out on YouTube. I have a plethora of tournament videos on Truman Lake and other lakes as well. So we'll see that maybe next year we get to do the same thing again for them. And until then, thanks for watching. Check me out on YouTube. Take a kid fishing.